Hello, in this video I will be showing you how you can add commenting to your Webflow site, like this example right here, completely no code and in a matter of minutes. So what's great about this solution is that you can customize the design of every single element of your comment form and comment section inside of the Webflow designer. So for example, I can change the styling of different elements, and then you can also change the layouts. For example, move the comment form below the comment section, and then you can also add in your own custom images, and then also even add in custom interactions. And this is really just scratching the surface of what's possible, but basically you can customize the design of your comment section to match the design of the rest of your website. So this solution also works for guest and member commenting. So for example, I am currently a logged out visitor on this blog page, so I'm just going to leave a comment here. And as you can see, when I press respond, my comment gets posted down below and the name that I provided gets displayed with my comment as the author. Now for member commenting, this solution integrates with Memberstack and Outseta. So when a user is logged in through either of these tools, like I am now, I'm currently logged in through Memberstack. Basically what will happen is the profile details from the user's account will be displayed with their comment. So I'm just going to post comment here, and as you can see, after clicking respond, the profile details, so my first and last name and profile image, gets displayed with my comment here. So this is of course great for adding a comment section to a blog, but this solution is also great if you have an existing Memberstack or Outseta member base and you would like to increase engagement and have an area where your members can comment on exclusive content or further engage with each other. Now let's get started with the implementation. So first off, the tool we are going to use to enable this is called Supersparks. So the first step is to sign up to Supersparks if you haven't done so already. So I'm just going to sign up now. And then afterwards, I will be redirected to this page. And then I am just going to select the Webflow project that I would like to add commenting to, and then just click Authorize App. And then after doing that, can get started with the implementation. So next I will just click Add Sparks on the project that we would like to add commenting to. And then I'm just going to select the comment sections feature inside of the Supersparks feature library. And then I'm just going to click Start Trial, or it might also say Create Sparks. And then after doing that, I will be redirected to this page where I can first off select a component that I would like to add to my Webflow project for commenting. So there's a wide range of components that you can use, but for this demo, I'm just going to select this main styled component. And then the next step is to click Copy Component. So one important detail here is that this step will not work on Safari. So if you are using Safari, just be sure to switch to a different browser to complete this step. Okay, so after clicking Copy Component, we can just jump over to the Webflow project. So as you can see in this project, I have a CMS collection for a blog. And then if we just jump over to this collection template page for the blog. So now if we just go to, I don't know, wherever you would like to add your comment section. So for example, a common place to put a comment section is at the very bottom of the post. So now I'm just going to paste in this component by pressing Command or Control V. Okay, so now that we have pasted in the component, let's actually just move it above the author block. We can proceed to the next step. Okay, then the next step is to copy this code snippet, and then we're just going to go to the site settings for our Webflow project, and then go to the custom code area, and then we're just going to add the code snippet that we just copied into this head code area and click save. Okay, so after doing that, we can then publish these updates to our Webflow project, and then we should be able to see this comment section in action. So now if we just scroll down, you'll see that the comment component is now on this blog template page. So now if I just add a test comment here, you'll see that the comment gets added down below. And then we can also test on another blog post. So let's just open up this different page. So as you can see, the comment that we just posted is not on this page, but if we just add another comment, you'll see that, again, the comment gets added here. And then if we just refresh the pages, you'll see that comments are unique for each individual CMS item page. And then, yeah, we can also test to see that replies are working. And as you can see, after pressing reply, the reply gets nested down below. So it looks like everything's working, at least with guest commenting here. So now that that's done, we can proceed to the next step. And then if the code snippet is installed correctly, we should see some confetti. But now that this is working, we can get started adapting the design of the comment section. So I'm not going to go into too much detail on this because it's completely up to you how you would like to design your comment section. But for example, the width of the comment section is not matching up with the rest of the blog content. So we can just fix that here. And then can also change the styling of this button to black. So yeah, you can really let your imagination run wild while adapting the design of the component. But just be careful about deleting elements that have attributes starting with Supersparks, because these attributes might be essential for enabling certain core functionality for the Supersparks app. So just something to be aware of. Okay, now that our comment section is up and running, we can move on to the different optional settings and features that can be added to our comment section. So if we just jump over to the extra feature section, you'll see that a bunch of these have come pre-installed with the component, but there are a bunch of additional ones that you can add to your comment section. So for example, you can add this kind of YouTube style reply pagination where users can hide and show all of the replies under each comment. And you can also add in load under pagination like this and much, much more. So I'm not going to go into too much detail on how to add every single one of these, but basically all of these different extra features have their own mini tutorials inside of the Supersparks editor. And then we can also jump to the settings section. So here you can add different notification settings. So when you are notified of new comments, add a webhook, also add different spam filtering levels of strictness, and also add in pre-moderation settings. So you can set it so you manually approve all new comments before they get added to your website. And speaking of moderation, if we just jump over to the managed content area of the Supersparks editor, you'll see that this is kind of a content dashboard where you can review and manage all of the different comments that get added to your website. So for example, if I were to just take a look at this reply that I just posted, you can see the author and then also the replies to the different comments. And then if I were to just delete this reply, and then now if I just refresh the page and scroll down, you'll see that the reply is no longer visible on this blog post. Okay, now I will just show you how you can integrate your comment sections with Memberstack and Outseta, starting off with Memberstack. So first off, if we just jump over to the membership settings area of Supersparks, I'm just going to select Memberstack, and then I will just click Save. And then the next step is to just make sure that Memberstack is installed on your website. And if you haven't done so already, I will provide a link in the description that goes into more detail on how to implement Memberstack. So as you can see on this project, I just have a basic sign up page. So now I am just going to sign up as a new member. And then I'm just going to also add a profile image here. And now that I'm currently logged in through Memberstack and have provided some profile details for my account. So now if I just go back to a blog post page and refresh the page and scroll down to the comment section, I can get started testing. So first off, you might notice that these guest name and email inputs are still here. So technically, since I'm logged in, I don't need to provide these details again, since the name and email details are already associated with my account. But I'll show you later on in the gating part of the video what to do with these different inputs. So first off, for this, I'm just going to add gibberish. This can be anything. So now if I just add a comment as a logged in member, you'll see that my profile details, so my profile image and my name, or at least my first name, gets included with my comment. So you might be wondering why the last name isn't appearing, and that's because by default only one element for the name comes pre-installed with the templates. But since Memberstack by default includes a field for first and last name, we just have to go through the process of adding a custom field to a certain element in order to display the last name. So first off, we're just going to copy this class here, and then we're just going to go back to the collection template page with the comment section. And then if we just scroll down, we can actually just copy and paste this element here just to make sure the first and last name have consistent styling. And then we can add a bit of a gap between them. And then we can just paste in this class that we copied to the second element for the last name. Okay, so now if I just publish this update here, and then just open up the page that I just added a comment to and scroll down, as you can see, the last name is now being displayed with my comment. Now for Outseta, the first step is to select Outseta as your membership tool inside of the Supersparks membership settings, and then click Save. And then next, you're just going to want to make sure that Outseta is installed on your website. And if you haven't done so already, again, I will provide a link in the description that goes into more detail on how to set up Outseta. But just for this demo, I have already installed Outseta, so I'm just going to log in. Okay, now that I'm logged in through Outseta, if I just go back to a blog post page, Scroll down to the comment section. Again, you'll see the previous guest comment that I added. And then, yeah, I can get started adding my first comment as a logged in Outseta user. And then for the guest name and email inputs, again, I'm just going to put in gibberish here because later on in the video during the gating section, I will be highlighting what to do with these for logged in members. Okay, so now if I just click respond, you'll see that the profile details are being displayed with my comment. And one detail I've been teasing throughout the videos, what to do with these guest name and email inputs for users that are logged in through Memberstack or Outseta. Since the email and name of the user is already connected to their account when they post comments, so they don't need to provide these details again. So if you were thinking of making your comment section member only, you can just flat out delete these inputs since they're not really needed. But if you were thinking of making your comment section a hybrid one where both guests and logged in members can post comments, you can then leverage Memberstack and Outseta's different gated / protected content features to make it so these guest name and email inputs only show to logged out visitors and are hidden when a user logs in. And these gating / protected content features are also useful if you were wanting to make your comment section member only. For example, setting up something similar to this where logged out visitors can see all of the comments, but when they go to add a comment, instead of showing the comment form, you can show an element like this. And then after the user logs in, they would see the comment form instead of this element here. So this is really one of many ways you can customize this using Memberstack or Outseta. Now, I'm just going to quickly show you an example of me implementing these features using Memberstack. But if you are using Outseta, you can still follow along. The process is pretty much identical. It just requires you to press different buttons inside of the Outseta app. So the best way of implementing these features is to leverage Outseta or Memberstack's app inside of the Webflow designer. So here I have the Memberstack app open. And for configuring the hybrid setup where both guests and members can add comments, I'm going to make it so this element here containing the guest name and email inputs are only visible to logged out visitors. And then if you were using Outseta, you would just go to the protected content section and then select data O anonymous. And after publishing, if we just go back to this blog post and scroll down, since I'm currently logged in, the guest name and email inputs aren't showing here. And then now if I just click reply, you'll see that my profile details are being displayed with my post. And then now if I just log out and then go back to the blog post and scroll down, the guest name and email inputs are now being shown here. Now for setting up functionality like this, where only logged in members can see the comment form, what we're going to do is first off, I'm just going to create a component like this that says something like login to get started posting a comment. And then I can also add in a text link and direct users to either the login or sign up page. And then add some padding here. And yeah, this design is super basic, and I'm sure you can do much better than this. But after we are done designing this, we can then go back to the Memberstack app. And then again, we're just going to set this to content type logged out. And just make sure that this element is outside of the form. And then for the form, first off, we're just going to select the form element and then go to the Memberstack app again. And this time we're just going to select content type is logged in. And for Outseta, the button you would press for the similar functionality is data authenticated. Okay, so after that's done, if we just go to the custom attributes, you'll see that a Memberstack attribute's been added for this functionality. And then you would also just repeat the same process as well for the reply form. And since only members are going to be able to post comments, we can again just delete the guest name and email inputs from the comment and reply forms. Okay, after making these changes and publishing, we should be able to see this member-only functionality in action. Just going to go back to a blog post page, scroll down to the comment section, and as you can see, instead of the comment form, this really ugly element here is showing up since I'm logged out. So now if I just log in again and return to the blog post, the comment form is now showing to me, and I can now add a comment since I'm logged in. And now if we just jump back to Supersparks and go to the membership section of the editor, there are a bunch of additional membership features or settings that can be added to the comment section. For example, you can display up to 3 custom fields of your choosing from Memberstack or Outseta with comments. So for example, if you wanted to display the website or profession of a certain user, you could leverage these custom field features. If you were interested in displaying a username instead of the user's actual name, just to have a layer of anonymity, you could also configure usernames here. But one we recommend is adding in this webhook here. And this will just inform Supersparks whenever a member updates their profile details, just to ensure their updates are reflected across all of their content. So for example, if a user updated their profile image, the new profile image would be included with all of their previous comments. And another one we recommend is reply notifications. So just switching on this toggle switch or setting here. And this just ensures that users are notified via email whenever another user replies to one of their previous comments. And this just keeps users coming back to your website to engage and continue the conversation. So I will provide a link in the description that goes into more detail on this feature and also shows you how you can configure notification settings so users can opt out and opt back in for receiving email notifications for replies. And that's pretty much everything I wanted to show you in this video. Do not hesitate to reach out to us at hello@supersparks.io or comment down below if you have any questions. And again, I will be providing links in the description to different resources and tutorials for different features that you can add to your comment section. So thanks for watching and take care. Bye.